Wag! Welcome back to the Red Ones Go Faster. I'm old Big Mek, and this.
Wait a minute. You're not old Big Mek. I'm old Big Mek.
Yeah, but I'm you in miniature form, so it works.
Makes sense. Wog! We're both old Big Mek. Welcome back to the Red Ones Go Faster. And in this video, I, the real old Big Mek, am going to talk about this, my new little old Big Mek, and why it was super important to build him for synergy, and why that's important when you are building your WOG, or really any other army for Warhammer 40,000. Let's get into it. All right, so what do I mean when I say synergy? So, throughout the history of Warhammer, you have always had units that work well together, that kind of complemented each other. And then you got leaders, right? And especially 3rd edition, you could start attaching them. 4th edition, when you attach them, they started doing more things besides just being attached. And where they kind of started doing this like power combo thing, like the way Magic cards do. And in 10th edition now, with the index that's out and a couple of codexes that we've seen, it's working even more than before, because instead of just attaching to any old squad, you can now only attach to very certain squads, which was something that kind of started off in 9th edition. Now, I'm going to be using orcs specifically for, most of this video, but know that these things apply no matter what army you play. When you look at your own codex, when you look at your own index, every datasheet's going to tell you which character can attach to which units and how it interacts. So a big one is just to make sure, if you're going to have good synergy, that you have the things that actually work well together. A couple of years ago, they had the warbands that came out, the Battle Force boxes for Christmas, and the Kildakle warband came out. And I put out a video going, hey, I really don't think this is worth buying because it had no synergy. At that particular point in time, orcs could call 2 different kinds of WOG. You could have a regular one or a speed WA. Well, the only one that could call the speed WA was the Death Kill Award Trike, which was in the warband. The only things that benefited from it were other speed freaks, of which there was nothing in the box. Everything in the box could only use regular WA, but there was no war boss, right? So it was a terrible box for any kind of synergy. Now, of course, we're back to one kind of WA and things like that, but it's still something to think about when you're building your army, when you're buying units. So as you're buying stuff and you're looking at your nicks and go, okay, what do I need to buy next, right? Like, how can I expand my army and make it work? Make sure you're getting stuff that works with what you have. So a great example, for example, orcs, right? You got your war boss, regular standard war boss. He can join a lot of units, right? Regular boys, regular knobs, stuff like that. Your war boss in mega armor, who is the one that comes in the combat patrol, can only join mega knobs. So he can't go with regular knob. That doesn't work. Not allowed to lead him. He has to go with mega knobs. So if you want him to lead a unit at all, you have to buy a box of mega knobs kind of as your next purchase, which kind of stinks to come from the combat patrol, which is one of the best values in the whole game for this particular army, to a really expensive box that's 70 bucks for 3 guys. Now, regular war boss leads the regular boys, and then you have the new beast snagga boys, and for them you need a beast boss. Now see, here's where I don't have good synergy. I have a beast boss. I don't have any beast snagga boys for him to lead. He is like kind of worthless and useless at the moment because he has all these great buffs he can do, but nobody to buff them with. So I really need to get on doing a unit of beast snaggas so that this guy's got somebody to lead. And then the reason why this Big Mek became really important was I did have a squad of the Mega Knobs, and if you watch that video, if you didn't, here's a quick recap. They were all equipped for close combat only, right? Double kill, saw, double claw. If I built my Big Mek in mega armor and he was going to lead a squad of them, his buff is to reroll 1s for shooting. You can't shoot a power claw. As much as we want to try, and try we will because we are orcs, you can't do it. So I really needed to convert some of my mega knobs to have combi weapons so that they had a ranged attack for his buff to actually do. So that's what I did. That was the whole premise of that video, was turning my 1 squad into 2 squads and having a squad with close combat weapons to synergize with my mega armor war boss, whose special ability when he leads makes them reroll 1s on hits on the charge, right? On assault. And then my Big Mek now when he's combined with his squad, they're going to reroll their ones on hit. They're actually going to have ranged weapons. So I've made good synergy with all of my mega armor type stuff now. And now I've got 3 different squads at least that have a leader that attaches to the correct squad that works really well. So I've got a war boss in regular knobs. I've got a war boss in mega armor with mega knobs, and now Big Mek in mega armor with his mega knobs. So now the next step I need to do for my army for that kind of synergy is to do a Beast Nagaboy squad for my Beast Boss. And the Beast Boss isn't the only leader I need some more synergy with. I also have my other old Big Mek, the one here with the shock attack gun. Decent unit on his own, not really good enough to take without some backup though. And he can only lead a unit of boys, a unit of Ludas, and a unit of Met guns. Well, I don't have any Met guns, and my Ludas aren't painted yet. And all my boys are Slugga and Choppa squads. So rerolling hits on ones, I'm not going to do a whole lot of good when you just got a Slugga, right? You need to at least shoot a boys. So I need to do a squad for him as well, whether it's Ludas or shoot a boys or building some Met guns. So definitely something to be careful and look at. Look at your characters, really look at what they lead. Make sure that those are the squads you're buying, that those are your squads you're building, so that your army actually makes sense and synergizes and is useful. And it's not just infantry and characters that you have to worry about, it's vehicles too. I once made the mistake of playing my Imperial Guard army with my one Leman Russ as a tank commander. Tank commanders can only give orders to other tanks. If you only have one tank, what are you doing? Right? That was the grave tactical error I made. So yeah, watch for it with vehicles too. Things like vehicle squadrons and things like that. Sometimes they're a lot more useful when you have a unit of 3 of them together instead of one by themselves, and things of that nature. So definitely make sure you're reading your index, or you're reading your codex, and you really understand what the data card is saying and how to make that synergize as best as you can. And finally, let's talk weapons a little bit. Outside of the edge case of my Mega Knobs, who had, all close combat weapons and needed some ranged weapons, when it comes to building your units, it used to be a really big deal what you equipped them with, right? For the longest time, over 20 years, you would pay points per every single weapon, right? So nobody was going to take a power fist on a sergeant in their tactical squad because that's a waste of 15 points. Now that is included. So now people are upfitting their squads to take all of the cool stuff. You're seeing hunter killer missiles being added to all the vehicles. You're seeing wrecking balls and claws getting added to all the orc trucks. You're seeing the armored trek guards and things like that. Well, you also have to watch out for the weapons and go, okay, yeah, even though it's by unit now and the weapon is included, right? Make sure you're picking the right weapon. If Guard Squad, for example, you put a heavy weapons team in it and they have a las cannon, they're going to be sitting in the back, right? They're going to be sniping stuff that's 48 inches away. You don't want to give their special weapon the flamer with a 12-inch range or a melta gun with an 18-inch range, right? Give them a plasma gun that's got at least a 24-inch range so they could reach out and touch somebody. Same thing with vehicles, right? You really think about what kind of weapon you're going to take. And if you really can't decide, vehicles especially, magnetize your stuff. And then you can switch to your heart desires to figure out what works best. Now, this is obviously a lot harder to do with infantry, and frankly, I don't recommend it. But definitely pay attention to what weapons you're giving your unit as you build them out. Yeah, it's cool that you can take, a power claw on every knob for free. Do you want to give that to your squad of shoot-a-boys that's sitting in the back just holding the home objective? No, maybe? I don't know. It's free for him, so yeah, probably. But still, there's certain things where it's going to be too short of a range, right? Or the chances of them getting into close combat aren't good. Maybe instead of giving him the power claw, you give him the custom mega blaster, the custom shooter, or something like that, and you add a little bit more DACA to that squad, right? That's the kind of weapon thing you really got to be looking out for. So take all that advice, apply it to your own army. Go and look at your index, look at your codex, look at your data cards, and go, okay, here's all the things I own, right? What am I missing based on these data cards to make them work, right? Are you like me? Do you have a Beast Boss and no Beast Nagaboys? Get some Beast Nagaboys. If you've got a tank commander and no tanks to command, go get yourself some tanks, right? that will definitely lead you into other units to buy and will make your army as powerful as it can be. And this isn't meta chasing. I mean, this is just frankly working, right? You know, you wouldn't build a magic card deck with blue cards in it and then, you know, have not islands for mana. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. So same thing with Warhammer. Just make sure it makes sense. And the more it makes sense, the better your army's going to play and the more fun you're going to have. And you know what? Frankly, the cooler too, because it is pretty cool watching all the leaders and all of their squads all set up. Looks pretty cool. Anyways, I'm old Big Mek. This is the Red Ones Go Faster. Thanks for hanging out with me this October. If you aren't already a subscriber, please consider hitting that button. Like, dislike, anything that you can click definitely helps us out with the algorithm. Go out there and share. You know, there's only so much shouting old Big Mek can do from the old shouting pole. And if you like any of the things I'm doing here, I would certainly appreciate you letting another friend with the skin to the proclivity of green know what we're doing here on the channel. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next video.